Hello everyone. My name is Okuyama. I belong to the Connected Village. First and foremost, together with the Chimata the factory, we would like to talk about. We would like to thank you all for participating with us for the session titled Chimata Factory by Connected Village. The title is Connecting Learning and Work. I am participating from here. And actually, people from the Chimata are participating remotely from Gifu Prefecture. So I would like to call out to the people from the Chimata factory. Please come over and join us. Hello, everyone. Hello. Well, I would like to thank you for joining us despite your busy schedule. Thank you very much indeed for joining us at the Connected. And the Chimata factory in the summer of this year, I believe, have started at the General Incorporated Association. Connected Inc. Village actually has been launched in February of this year, so in that sense, both of us are quite new. But anyhow, well, everyone from the I would like to know as to what sort of things you are looking forward to doing at the Chimata factory and what sort of collaboration you would like to work with us at the village. Those are the sort of things which we are looking forward to having a talk with all of you. Actually, the COPA stage, well, actually, together with the Ito-san and Ito-san's team, actually worked on assembly the COPA, and actually, all of you are now including Ito-san, are participating with us right now remotely through Gifu, and so many people, and actually all these the connections and linkages that we have, all of us, actually have led to us having the talk with you today. But anyhow, would you please give us a self-introduction from all of you? Well, shall we get started from Demura-san or Ito-san? Well, maybe you might want to introduce all of you. Thank you very much. We are Chimata Factory. Nice to see you all. Perhaps one by one, we would like to introduce you to each of the members. My name is Demura. I am also the professor at the Gifu University. My name is Demura. Nice to see you all. Ito-san, would you please give us a self-introduction? Thank you very much for your kind introduction. My name is Tambotsu Ito. I am an architecture. I am the one that had designed the stage COPA where you are belonging to. Actually, at the COPA stage, we actually try to resemble the Gifu prefecture, I heard. That is correct. That is correct. Okuyama-san, I think you have been to Tajimi City. You are currently standing on top of the Tajimi City, which is known to be the hottest city in Japan. Nice to see you all. My name I am operating the nursery where I am trying to teach the kids with inquiry-based learning. My name is nice to meet you all. Naganawa-san, would you please give us the introduction? Yes, will do. My name is Naganawa. Thank you very much. Well, I am working on the research about the utilization of the public space, so I am known as an activist I am known as a middle-aged man working on a park. Nice to see you all. Imao-san, please. My name is Imao. Nice to see you all. Well, I have been involved with the Chimata factory, but at the same time, personally, I am working on the design-related work in Gifu Prefecture. By the way, Imao-san, you have been to Shirakawa village, right? I'm not there right now. Well, I am currently located in the Kakamigahara city, which is located right next to the Gifu city right now. Thank you very much for that. There is one other person, by the way. In the middle of the Gifu city, we have someone called the Mizuno-san who is working as a tailor. And this person is working within the Chimata factory, but he is busy, so he won't be able to participate today. But anyhow, would you please introduce us to the Chimata factory, and would you also tell us what sort of activities you are working within that factory? Yes, will do. I hope my screen can be seen with. Yes, I would like to share my screen with all of you. In August, our Chimata factory had been launched at the General Incorporated Association. Would you please move on to the next page? What we would like to do is to create chain reaction from exciting learning to create new jobs, to create a place where value creators can stimulate each other. That is what we at the Chimata factory would like to do. So in other words, well, we would like to develop and nurture human resources so that they would be able to stimulate each other. We hope that we would be able to create this area, or say the zone, where everyone would be able to create something new. Next page, please. What led me to do this was that starting from April of this year, I have been working as a professor for the School of Social System Management. This is rather in relation to the business, but we are placing weight onto the inquiry. We have 30 students for each grade, by the way, and really wanted these students to go inside the gemba, or say the front line, so that we would be able to nurture these people. It's a bit challenging in a way, but this sort of challenging department had been established within the Gifu University, where I am working as professor. Well, it's not challenging only for the university, but I wanted to make sure that it would be linked to the society. I wanted to make it something organic. With that in mind, I decided to do this activity voluntarily. When we try to have a connection with the society, well, within the Gifu Prefecture, I found that there are many, the creators around. I call them the hentai, or should I say kinky guys, and they are well balanced in a way. They are connected in a well balanced way. So, for example, these members that you see, who just gave you introduction to all of you a minute ago, they are well balanced, and they actually establish, or say have a foot in each of the respective fields. Next page, please. Well, university is the place where we would have to send over the students so that they get to work. But I thought that we don't really have to stick to that objective meaning, that what is more important is to create business on our own. Even if people do not work for a company, if we would be able to create human resources where the people would be able to create their own jobs, then I thought that would be more interesting. And inquiry is quite important. Age doesn't matter. Well, I thought that it would be great if we would create the zone where the people, the children, and the adults would be able to create the job. If that would be realized, I thought that would be great. So, currently we have just started to work on the schooling project. This is called problem-based learning, where we decided to make the problem solving the process of learning. Well, I want the students that belong to the School of Social System Management to join this as well. But not only that, I really do hope that the companies, since they are facing the issue of succession of management, and in a way they also have the stiff assistant, but I believe these companies would like to introduce the kind of people who would be able to make things flexible within their company. So we want these companies to send over the young employees over to the school of this the project. So, well, the group of the people who have a different backgrounds would be able to have the open innovation. That's a sort of school or say the project we would like to do. We would, we would like to do this for about a half a year so that we can really make it into the real business. But anyhow, we would like to cover everything from small things to large things. But anyhow, there are many ambiguous things around in the society. There are many ambiguous matters. Out of them, we would like to discover things so that we would be able to work on the brainstorming with open innovation so that we can come up with a good solution. Working on all the things in a stimulated way. Well, of course, a solution matters, but at the same time, to get the linkage amongst all these people who are involved is to establish such linkage is one purpose as well. We would like to create a prototype. Well, I would like to introduce you to two of the three initiatives or say prototypes that we are working right now. Well, we have the Hidamari So-san, which is an NPO organization which is providing things like the day service for the senior citizens at home or the disabled people. They are providing support to such people. They provide a very detailed support and care.
And there is a brood, something that people put a lot into, and there are quite a few products. And Hidamari saw this organization is trying to sell things to the society, and by doing so, these people will be integrated into a society. So it should be inclusive. That is what they are trying to do, but there could be some more effective approaches. They pose this challenge to us. Now, what you can see in the picture, these are the works by those people, and all of them carry so much feeling. And these are produced by handicapped or disabled people, or those amateurs and so on. So I believe that they have already overcome such barriers of their disadvantages. So this is something that we are trying to create. So Hanako-san is working on this. So can I turn to you, please? Yes, Professor Ademura has something with him. These are pieces of work. I can see them. So this is some grandma, older lady, from a 100 yen store. She bought about 9 cushions and so on and produced these. So she produces these, and they are amazing pieces of work. So somebody should use them. That is how I feel, but currently it is quite difficult to realize that. So if you change the light of shades, some of the works look much nicer, or some people may want to use these products. So nursing care providers are not quite used to designing things and so forth, and they haven't been able to cover such aspects yet. So at this BBL place, we can perhaps communicate the attractions of these products. Thank you very much. What we can see in the picture, so all these manga work is drawn by a pencil. So this is a really original work. It's quite overwhelming, isn't it? So you can perhaps produce a poster out of this manga work. Well, there is a story or narrative behind this. Yes, this is a long story, actually, epic story. So there are people with disabilities and so on. That person draws this on a daily basis, little by little, and Hiramae saw this organization visited this person, and this person was showing his drawing to the staff members of Hidamari So. I see. So just selling these things through e-commerce channels. I don't want to present this work through such harder channels. We would like to be a little bit creative. So we are trying to give birth to something. The next one, please. This is in Minokamo city. There is a Kamoken Labo company. This is like a social entrepreneurship type of company, so they try to resolve administrative challenges. They pretty much work on all sorts of administrative challenges. They're very active. So migrants first came to this municipality and formed the company, but Minokamo City, near the Kisogawa River, this is somewhere in the middle, midstream, so both upstream and downstream cultures are connected by the midpoint. So they have agricultural activities that are quite active in the background and so on. So they're trying to connect all sorts of communities in this area. So their activities are very wide-ranging. You can see the table on the left-hand side, and every year they are doing some complicated things. They work on all sorts of projects and programs, so they are really shining. So when we ask if they have any challenges, they say that they've lost a big picture view in a way because their work is so complicated. And this tends to happen to social entrepreneurship. So they are very active, they try to respond to all sorts of challenges, and in the end they lose a sight of a big picture. They get lost from outside, they don't quite look that way, but they feel that sort of a challenge inside. In a good way, they can, for example, go to a certain direction, and that sort of a vector can be named or identified. If that can be done to show future directions, if you can visualize all these things that would be useful for them, it could be a nicer solution for them. So Ito-san is in charge of this, so could you please elaborate on that? Yes, Professor summarized the challenge up quite nicely. So their activities are really wide-ranging, very diverse. Well, already there are some projects that have names on them that are already labeled, and then they feel like their job is so diverse. While I have a discussion with them, through the process, now they have this overall vision, and based upon that, if they can identify or name their work, well, currently they are trying to put things into existing framework, but perhaps they can produce new type of work. That is how I feel. So be it farming, agriculture, or there are some physical resources or human resources in the community, and all of them are connected and integrated quite nicely. And they have a richer nature as well. So these things are possible because of the rich nature in the community. Starting from Gifu Prefecture, we can work with them, and this gives me a great sense of fulfillment or achievement. Thank you very much for that. So in today's modern society, there are all sorts of businesses and societal challenges and so on. So I don't know what sort of output could come out. An open innovation can enable that sort of unexpected innovation or outcome. So I think that's exactly what this company is doing. This is really their core value, connecting the societal components. Thank you. This project, there are two organizations you introduced, and there are challenges and so on, and your students participate in these projects, or companies dispatch people to these organizations and projects and so on, and they tackle challenges and problems, and you leverage your knowledge as well as a network connections by introducing such solutions and resources. You try to achieve every challenge that presents itself in front of you, and before you know it, these challenges are solved. It's not what you're trying to do. Yes, exactly. Once a project starts, you take about a half a year to do things, to achieve these things, so you spend a longer span of time to solve these challenges. So hurdles and bars keep presenting themselves in front of you, and everybody together tries to overcome that. This is like an intelligent adventure. in a way, and through the process, each individual can learn. I understand. So Gifu is a prefecture that is right in the middle of Japan. It's not Tokyo or Osaka. Gifu is a local prefecture which has some features and so on. Are they useful? Yes, you're right. So one point is that these people are available in the local area. If that's the case, that is nice. There are sort of people who can become such great human resources, be it farming or agriculture or industry or natural resources, nature resources. If you'd like to use them, actually they are readily available. These are forgotten resources, so to speak. In this background, how can you behave and so on. I think this is something that everybody has forgotten. Okay, so going forward, there will be so many case studies produced through your process. I think your initiative has the potential to do just that. So this Connected Inca Village, this February we launched this Connected Village, art, technology, learning, and so on. These are very deep drives and humans, deep emotions and feelings, and so forth. I can create all sorts of different expressions and all sorts of different potential, and we'd like to identify that. That is why this organization was set up.
Currently, in the last 2 days of the Connected Ink, variety of people have been performing the dance and also instruments performance and so on. Well, the technology of the Wacom have been leveraged for the art. We have just started such initiatives and activities. As the Connected Ink Village, learning is something that we would love to do as well. Well, for example, it's not really the mathematics, the Japanese, and science and so on. What we would like to do is all these the practical things. If I may, I have a question. It seems that you place a lot of weight onto creating jobs, not just learning, but I believe you see the importance in learning connected to creating work. Well, why is it that you thought that you have to place lots of importance on the creating work? I have been speaking a lot, but anyhow, I believe creation of work is the thing that would keep the society fresh and will bring force upon moving things forward. Well, I have been working and researching history and also the cities. And in the center of the city, there has to be the place called Chimata, or say the zone where people are mingled together. And I believe this Chimata is a place where everything starts. Chimata can be expressed as the two separated ways. Where there are two paths, and this is a sort of location where people have always gathered, and people always thought that this is the very center, and actually the key of the Gifu has this in its Chinese character, or say the Japanese kanji character has this element of the Chimata embedded. And the city is a place where everyone creates his or her own job, and creativity and our vigor being generated from that Chimata. This is something which I always say to the students, and this is the very essence. Your question was great. What a good question. No. I am also working on HR related job within the Wacom as well. if you keep on learning on the desk, we will never be able to expect what will happen in the future. I think to jump into the society at the Gemba is quite important. I do agree on that point. So, by the way, everyone connected in village and at the Chimata factory, all of us have just had a kickstart recently. From your eyes, what do you think would be possible to do a joint work together with the Connected Ink Village? Nakanawa-san, since you haven't talked much, would you please handle that question? Yes, we'll do. Well, for example, we have units like companies, countries, municipality, and also individuals, which is the simplest form of the unit. Well, there are places where we as individual won't be able to achieve, and I think learning is getting in the way of making progress. If we would be able to go outside of the framework or go outside of the box, I think by working together, we would be able to open up the door which we won't be able to unlock on our own. This is where the learning and discovery exists. Everything is becoming convenient nowadays. So, of course, if you are interested, you will be able to get those things on your own. But on the other hand, knowledge, or say, the well, we have less and less opportunity to discover things uh, in the coincidence, and that's the sort of things which I would like to see much more. So coincidence. So you would like to simulate these things, and if you would be able to work together to do that, that would be great. Yes, I agree. Are there anybody else who would like to input? Well, inside the Chimata factory, what we would like to deal with, whom we would like to deal with, are the students that belong to elementary school and junior high school. Well, we have Noda-san who is working at working with the students, especially putting weight onto the inquiry-based learning. If we would be able to have these students eventually join in the School of Social System Management, and eventually, if we would be able to have these the people actively engage in the local society, I thought that would be great. If all the students eventually go out to Tokyo, it would be too boring. We would like to provide them with lots of options. Wacom is working on the support for the inquiry-based learning. If we would be able to work together in that field, in that aspect, I think it would be great. By doing so, for example, other students will be able to enjoy the very exciting learning by using a tablet. And right next to these students would be the adults. This vertical connection, if we would be able to have such connection, then I think everyone would be able to get the benefit out of it. I see. Wacom is currently working on a variety of initiatives in the field of education. As for us village, well, we would like to invite over the teachers that you wouldn't be able to find in the conventional schools. For example, dance, song, pictures. Well, if we would be able to provide the people with some sort of awareness, new awareness, if we will be able to do that together with you, it can be quite exciting. And I think it can be part of the problem solving, the process. Solving the ambiguity. Well, I just cannot stop talking. I would love to keep on talking for the next 3 hours, but anyhow, lastly, if I may I ask you to provide the last comment to those participants who are participating at the Connected Inc. Yes, we are thinking of doing this within the Gifu Prefecture, but we are limited to that. We would like to bring over a variety of challenges so that we can grow things. I think in a way we can do this globally if there are anyone who would be willing to work together or be partners, or if you would like to provide us with a sponsorship, we are more than welcome if you could do that. That's more than appreciated. We have just launched. It's not that we have a particular location where you would be able to access, but anyhow, we'll soon be able to do that. So I hope that you would be able to get connected with us. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us very interesting talk and very meaningful talk. Anyhow, the session itself is going to end now, but we are looking forward to the future collaboration to take place. Thank you very much indeed.